Hi, it's Sheila from She's a Sassy Lady, and today we are going to make a card that is on Creative Holiday Cards, this wonderful little booklet, and it's so easy to do. All you have to do, I mean, if you are just using your Cricut, you will need the new overlay, but it tells you exactly what to do, what size to cut it, says right here on the bottom, and let me zoom in so you can see this, how simple it actually is to do. But it tells you to do 5.5 inches, and it tells you what key you go to and everything. So all you have to do is follow that and you're going to get your card. Now I did add an extra piece, and I'll show you that in just a second. I wanted some backup, and I kept pretty standard with what's on the front of the on here, except I used a red background, and I used, remember last week and the week before I was working on my Close to My Heart packet. Well, I finished that and I had some leftover papers, and I said, remember, I'm going to use some of them. Well, I had some of this, so this stripe pattern, and so I just had the little pieces that I had left over. I just used my regular cutter and cut them off and put it on there, put it on that on the inside of the card so that the scallop would show a little better on the edge here. And then another cut I made was to fit behind there so it would fit on here, because I used the exact size that they said. So then what I did is I just cut another sheet, and then this again was another sheet of paper, and then I can just put it on there and it'll go around the edge and it'll look real nice. So anyway, we've got a lot of work to do. I cut out 6 of these cards, and I'm using leftover papers. This red paper was leftover paper from Design Cuts with a View. The red and white stripe here in gray, and this was from Close to My Heart, just leftover sheets that I had from the packets that I used in the last couple weeks. And then I used standard white paper to cut both the inside of the card and the outside of the card, and Design Cuts with a View for the green, and again it was just standard leftover paper that I've had in my stash. Now, as far as stamp sets, I went through and pulled every Christmas stamp set I had, and last year I got and never used, because if you remember, we had an illness in the family, and so I bought all my stuff to make my cards, and I did like I don't know, a whole bunch of papers. And creative Close to My Heart had the excuse me, this one, Close to My Heart had the Partridge and Pear Tree workshop, card making workshop, and that's what this is from. And I'm going to be using the little Merry Christmas that's on the bottom right there, just to stamp on the bottom right here, because it'll fit very nice. Okay, so I'm using that. This is my card that's going to be using all kinds of leftovers in that. And then from, I think this is from this year, I'm not sure. Close to My Heart, yeah, it's this year, the Merry and Bright Holiday. And I used the Let the Spirit of Christmas Bring You Joy, and then this little sprig of berries right here. But I did the berries opposite because I wanted it like that. So at any rate, I put them on there, and then all I'm going to use is a tulip ink. I think that's what it is. Close to My Heart tulip. Yeah, tulip. And use that. So we're just going to get together, and work this out and have a little chat and all that kind of good stuff. I hope your week is doing well. I have to tell you, I'm getting lots of cards in for the contest, and by the time this airs, it'll be too late, I believe. Yes, it'll be too late for you to mail in any cards for the Christmas contest. So you'll just have to wait for the following week to see the winner. But oh my goodness, the cards that I'm getting in, it makes my cards look terrible. You guys are so talented. So talented. So I can't wait to share those with you. And then I've gotten a couple emails where a couple more ladies are getting their cards ready, and so I'm looking forward to that. Now, all I'm doing is inking up, and I've got my little piece of paper, and all cut. And excuse the hair, I noticed that the last time my hair shows. And I'm just going to stamp every one of them Merry Christmas. And it'll just take a second to do these. I had a great day today. I went to the doctor. Great visit. Don't have to go see him for 6 months. Don't you love that when you can go to the doctor and have a great visit? Got another doctor I got to go to, but this one was just, he was checking me out. Said I'm doing wonderful, so, you know, we got to do our yearly visits. It's very, very important. I can't stress that enough. But you know what? When you get over 40, and then when you get over 50, and then when you get over 60, you got to see lots of doctors. And I remember about when I first moved here to Alabama, I got an internist, and I went in, and she says, well, what seems to be the problem? I said, well, I don't have a problem. I said, I can't keep all these doctors straight. You know, as you get older, you have your gynecologist, of course. You have your urologist. You have your cardiologist. And then your dermatologist. And I told her I just couldn't keep all the ologists separated, and so I needed someone to just make sure that I'm never overloaded on medication or anything like that. I don't like to take medication. It's terrible. I have a hard time with that. I just don't like it, and so I you know, if they make me, I guess I got to. But you never know. You know, when you're dealing and you got to go to a couple different doctors, you never quite know. So, at any rate, just to get back online here, go get your regular checkups and all that kind of good stuff, because it's very important, because you want to stay healthy. I want to live a long, long time. And, I mean, my mom is going to be 82, God bless, and she's wonderful. She just goes all over the place, does all kinds of things. I mean, how nice is that? I have a lady at work just gets so upset with me. She says, why do you let your mother drive to these places? She's 81 years old. And I said, I know, it's wonderful. And I said, who am I to tell her she can't go? I mean, she's a big girl, and she's so enjoying her life, and I'm so thankful for that. So, at any rate, that's why. That's why we go to the doctors and do all the stuff that we do. So now, here's the inside of my card. And I am going to ink this up. And you know what? I want something to ink, just stamp on. Okay. This was, I was trying to make sure that my fax machine and printer was working. And so it's working perfectly. My stamp set. I want to make sure that I'm inking it up okay, you know, before I do it. And it's lined up okay. It looks great. Oh, and I got something new that I bought. I'll share that with you in just a second. Just a second. Let's get this stamped down so that I can do that. And I'm going to use it on this. I got these new little pens. Now, I don't know if any of you know Amy at May Made It. Gotta go check out her blog. She's wonderful. Amy at May Made It is a friend of mine. She also is a part of our card party. And Amy was using, the last card party, used these glitter pens. Well, I finally contacted Amy. I said, where did you get those pens? I've got to get some. Well, she told me she got them at Michael's, and she told me the brand. Well, I go there, and my Michael's is out of them. But they had these Jelly Roll Stardust ones. And I thought, you know, wouldn't it be nice just to put a little bit of glitter in it? They're just glitter. All you're doing is putting glitter. You're not putting color, but you're putting glitter on these. And I don't think this is dry all the way, because I checked this out at work and it works great. And of course I got it wet inside. Here, we got it. We got it going again. Make sure my ink is dry. And all you do, look at this. Just put a few little dabs on this stuff. And it was, I mean, with my 40% off coupon, I think it was only $2. I didn't have anything else I needed, and I just ran in the store to get just this, you know. So I didn't do all kinds of shopping or anything, but I ran in just to get this. And look at that. Ooh, I got a little speckle or something on my card. There's a little flaw in there. Look at that. Into the paper itself, but it's not bad. I'm going to leave it. But I want, oh, let's see if I can't get this. Just there, see how it sparkles? Look at that. and glitters. I'm going to use that on the inside of every one of them. Isn't that beautiful? And you saw how fast that was? It only takes a second to do. At any rate, I'll stamp all this good stuff up on the side. I'm not going to make you look at me stamp 6 cards, but I do want to close this up because I don't want my ink to get dried out. I've got these nice juicy ink pads and I don't want it to get dried out in any way, shape, or form. So let's just take one of these cards and put it together and you'll see how fast it is. Last week I have to tell you what I did. Last week my my ATG guns ran out of, here's one, it's out of goodies. Oh no, it's working. It ran out of, what do I want to say, glue. And I go to change it. I couldn't get it for the life of me. I could not refill my tape in here, my glue tape. So I had to wait for my husband to come home. And I had him, I've got 3 of these. I have 3 of them. I have one in purple and 2 pinks. And I could not figure it out for the life of me what I was doing wrong. And just to get this on, and all you have to do is put it on there. And you know what? It's the same size. It's not a little bit less. Something for you to know when you make this. It's not different sizes. Let me put some more glue on the corner. I may end up trimming this a little bit because they're identical in sizes. And you know how hard I have a hard time getting them exactly. I'm going to turn it the other way where it's nice and straight and I can follow it down. There. Ooh, I think next time I make these I'll have to go on Cricut Crafter them and make sure the size is, well, it is a little bit different. Look at, that's all. That's all. Merry Christmas. Fits in just right. And then I have a star. And you know what? Oh, I've got one here, but I see a little problem with my star. When I pulled it off the mat, I moved some of the paper. Uh-oh. My liquid glass. I guess I must have had it. I'm going to have to get a needle or something. Oh no, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. I got to be careful so it doesn't squirt all over. It's not going to come. Don't you hate when you do this and you leave something going? Well, I'm not going to get it this time. I'm going to have to get a needle or something and do that. Let's see if I can get a little zip dry. That doesn't look too promising either. Well, when you get to the end of the tubes of these things, aren't they a little bit rough? No, that's not going to work. I'm going to put that star aside. It had a little bit of the paper was pulled up, and all you have to do is glue that down. You know, you just don't want that little piece like that to show. So, anyway, let's get a different star. And I've got a little bit of foam tape here. We'll cut a little, boy, everything I'm grabbing is giving me a hard time. A little bit of foam tape for the inside there. I mean for the little star, not for the inside, for the little star. I used a gold star. I think the picture shows a red star, but that's okay. I think my fingernails are getting to the stage. I'm going to have to give them a cut again. Put the little star in the top of the tree. There we go. Now we need to get a card, get a backing, get this. And I'm going to use a glue gun that's got a little bit more in it. Whoa. That moves a lot faster. That one's running out. That's why it gets a little tight at the very end. Uh-oh, hubby didn't do a good job loading it. Look at that. I'm in trouble. Looks like we go back to the drawing board. I don't know why it's giving me a hard time. I've had it for years and I use it for, it's 2 years I've had it. Shouldn't be giving me a hard time. Oh, isn't that pretty? I love the glitter. It just adds so much. Really like the way that just shines. Isn't that pretty? Okay, and then on the front of this card, let's get the purple one out. I believe in prayer. I think we should pray over this thing. I don't know. Seems to be working fine, and I went off the edge. One thing about the purple one, I go off the edge a little bit more than I should. And then you've got to make sure that you have it turned over so it doesn't glue to what you had before. Oh, that's pretty. See, doesn't that look cool? And then I did it again. Do you believe I did that again? Shame on me. Okay, well, I am just about done here, and what I'm going to do next is put all these cards together, and then I'll show them all to you at one time, all completed. But isn't that pretty? So simple. Very simple. I like it. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'll be right back, okay? Well, as you can see, I have all the cards done, and it did take about a half hour to put them together, but every one of them are done. I was having a little bit of a problem with my ATG gun, so since I only had a little bit here, I would do the bottom line here and then everything else with the great big wide one, because that other ATG, the other pink one, wasn't working. But I love how these turned out, and I just adore the inside. And see how it just shines and sparkles up here? It's just perfect. These pens are wonderful, so do get out and get to Michael's and pick up the pens for you, for yourself, because it does add a little sparkle to what you're doing, and it kept everything nice and simple. Well, now I'm at 41 cards and a few more to go, so these are great. These creative holiday cards are great for mass producing. I mean, I did 6 in no time at all. I think it took longer to cut it out than it did. I know it took longer to cut it out than to put the whole cards together. So all in all, I have probably an hour invested in 6 cards. Hope to see you soon. Thank you for joining us today, and she's a Sassy Lady. Bye now.